Hi, good morning everyone. It's Julia from Crosspatch on this lovely, rainy, cold, horrible day. We've just lived through Storm Girotti, which hammered us last night with wind and snow, which has now melted, and it's lovely cold rain outside. So everybody's inside stitching. So just a quick idea of what you can do with your mini charm packs. You're going to need about 120 2.5-inch squares to make the whole thing, so you'll need 2 or 3 mini charm packs. Here's one I made a while ago, and I'm halfway through making a new one with the William Morris fabrics. So it's really simple. It's just like a little satchel, so it opens on the front and it's a good sort of iPad case size. So it's just a simple little satchel with a little handle on the top. You could also do some long handles and sew them either side if you want to carry it like a bag. And then just add one of my stitchery panels on the front. So I've made several now. So the stitchery panels that will fit on the front will be like the needles and bobbins one is on the front of this one. This sewing machine stitchery will fit on the front as well. And then I'll show you the one that I'm making now. So the one I'm making now has got the little bird and chicks on the front. So this is going to be the William Morris one. So all you want to do, if you've got the William Morris mini charm pack, you need 2 mini charm packs, okay? And you need 105 squares for the front of your satchel. And you're just going to sew them together in rows of 7 squares. So there's 15 rows of 7 squares, and they're just sewn together in rows and then fused to some wadding. Now, if you're putting a stitchery panel on the front, behind that you're sort of wasting 6 squares. So behind that are 6 of the cream squares out of the mini charm pack. So there's 4 fairly plain ones and 2 flowery cream ones behind there, okay? Because you're not going to see them because you're appliquing that on top. So all you do is sew together all your rows of squares. So your 15 rows of 7 squares, fuse them to some H640 wadding, and you can see from the back I've done an all over quilting, free motion quilting, and I didn't bother to quilt that bit where the stitchery panel's going, because sometimes if you did like crosshatch quilting, I found that when you fuse your stitchery panel over the top, it comes through the stitchery panel. So I didn't quilt on that bit there, okay? So that's all ready now to put onto some backing. So all you're going to do is cut a piece of, well, backing / lining fabric. So the same size, I've got some Macawa linen texture. You're just going to put that right sides together with your bag, leave a gap in one end, so leave about that much of a gap in that end for turning, and turn right sides out. So when you've turned it right sides out, you're going to have to work out how many bits are on the flap, how many are on the back, and how many on the front. So the front of the bag is 1, 2, 3 is 4, the top 4 rows, okay? And then the handle, which I'll show you in a minute, is going to sit between the 4th and the 5th row. So you will top stitch that on, okay? And I'll show you how the handle's made in a minute. So that's going to be the top flap. So inside you need to fold up the other end of your bag. So the inside of your satchel is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you fold up 5 rows and then top stitch them together, this is after you've sewn your bag together with the lining, okay? Oh, and before you do that, nearly forgot, knew I'd forget. 3 little squares out of your mini charms. Sew them together, fold them in half twice, and they will make your little tag to go over the button on the front of the bag. So that will make that bit there, and that will just go over a self-cover button that you put on the front of your bag. So that's that bit there. But if you sew that on first before you put your lining fabric on. So I've just tack stitched that on there, and then that will get enclosed in the lining Okay, so you can see there, if I fold this up, the 5 rows. Don't want to tell you wrong. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've counted 5 rows up. So if pretend I've got my lining on that, I fold that 5 rows up and then top stitch it down each side, and that will be the inside of my bag, and that will be the outside. Now the handle is going to sit on the top of your bag on the 5th row up. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. There's your flap. And then your handle's going to sit on the top there between the 4th and 5th row. So all your handle is 7 of your mini charm squares. Sew them together in a row, fold them in half and turn them right sides out again. Fold them in half, right sides together. Leave a gap in the middle there for turning. Turn it right sides out and then fold it in half again, but not the end bit. So like I always make my bag handles, fold it in half on the middle squares, and the 2 end squares are what you're going to stitch to your bag. Okay, so you end up with a piece that looks like this. Okay, so those bits, you're just going to take your panel and you're going to stitch them on the top between the 4th and 5th. So if you get this nice flat bit and put it on the top there, so 1 square in, and then you can top stitch that down. So it's probably easier if I show you the finished one. So here's the finished one, and you've just top stitched those handles in on the top, so through the whole thing, so you can see on the inside where I've stitched them on. So that's how you stitch your handles on, and then you finish off, just put a self-cover button on the front to put your little tab over to close them. Okay, so that's just a simple idea of what you can do with your mini charm packs. I'm going to go away and sew this together, and then I can put a picture of it when I upload the video. I'll probably do it next week. So when you see this, I'll have already done Facebook/Tube live this Sunday. I'll have already done that. So you'll have already seen the bag to match this. So this will be the bag which will match my little satchel. Plus we've got a cushion to match it as well. So we've got a bag and a cushion and a satchel, all matching in the nice William Morris fabrics. So there's another video on how I made that. If you look down my list of videos, and I've just been stitching. I've stitched up another one. So now that I've made a bag, I did in the glittery thread. So this is done in the plain Valdani, well, the not glittery Valdani threads. Okay, so I've stitched that now, and that is going to become, I'm going to applique each little bit of stitchery onto the front of a needle book. So I'm going to fuse the whole thing to some heat and bond, and then I'm going to put them onto a needle book. I'm not sure what the needle book's going to look like, but that's it. So yeah, if you've got a load of mini charm packs, it will look good. The nearest colour to this one would be the French General. You're still going to need 2 packs because there's 74 in my French General mini charms, but you need about 120 altogether. So you're going to need a couple of packs of those. If you wanted to do it in the Lynette Anderson, you're going to need 3 packs of those. And I haven't got a huge amount of Lynette Anderson left. It didn't last very long. And then if you do it in the William Morris, you're going to need 2 packs. Okay, so that's my quick little video for today. I'll be back again Sunday morning, but by the time you see this video, you'll have already seen Sunday morning. So that's a by the by. So I'm going to go off and finish sewing this satchel together so I can put a picture on. I need to update my pattern for this, so I'll update the pattern if you really need a pattern, but it's so simple. You're just sewing squares together and folding it up into a satchel. Obviously you can make it bigger or smaller if you wanted to make it another row bigger. Hang on, let's just put it against my laptop. Yeah, I think I'd need another row on the side, and it would be big enough to put my laptop in. Maybe make it another row longer, another row wider and another row longer, and I think I'd fit my laptop in, but I've got a smaller size laptop. Okay, so that's my idea for today. I'm going to go and finish it and then start on something else. So have a nice day. See you soon. Bye.